April 22nd, 1915. A German soldier opens 5,730 canisters. Green gas rolls across no man's land. 15,000 French and Algerian troops watch it coming. Beautiful. Mesmerizing. Like fog. They don't run. Don't take cover. Just stare. And then they start screaming. Clawing at their throats. Drowning on dry land. 5,000 dead in 10 minutes. But here's what they don't tell you. This wasn't the first time. Chlorine gas was used 2,400 years earlier. 428 BC. Greece, Spartans versus Athens, same method, same results, same horror. And the man who designed it? He won the war, got celebrated as a hero, then mysteriously died 3 days later, coughing blood. His own weapon. This is Ypres, Belgium. April 2000, 1915. 5 p.m. German troops position themselves along a 4-mile front. French soldiers watch from trenches opposite. Standard evening. Cold. Quiet. Then German engineers open valves. 168 tons of chlorine gas. Liquid. Pressurized, released into canisters. Wind blowing east. Toward Allied lines. Perfect conditions. Greenish-yellow cloud. Heavier than air. Rolls along the ground. Fills trenches. French sentries see it coming. Report to officers. Strange fog approaching. Officers dismiss it. Fog is normal. Happens every evening. No alarm. The cloud reaches the first trench. Soldiers breathe it in. Immediate reaction. Burning. Lungs, eyes, throat. They can't breathe. Can't see. Can't scream. Just suffocate. 5,000 dead. 10,000 injured. 6-kilometer gap in Allied lines. Germans advance. Unopposed. Completely. But German command doesn't exploit it. Why? Because they didn't believe it would work. Brought no reserves. No reinforcements. Just enough troops to hold the line. Not advance. So the gap closes. Within 48 hours, Allied forces regroup, reinforce. The opportunity is lost, and Fritz Haber, the chemist who designed the gas, watches from behind the lines. Furious. His weapon worked. Perfectly. And the generals wasted it. But chlorine gas wasn't new. Not even close. 428 BC. Peloponnesian War. Sparta versus Athens. Siege of Plataea. Spartans can't breach the walls. Cities fortified. Defended. Spartans try everything. Battering rams, siege towers, fire arrows. Nothing works. So they try something else. Sulfur and mix them, heat them, create toxic smoke. Pump it into the city through tunnels. The smoke works. Fills the lower city. Residents flee to higher ground. But the Spartans miscalculate. Wind shifts, blows the smoke back. Into their own camp, 200 Spartan soldiers die. Choking, coughing blood. The siege fails. And the Spartan commander, Archidamus II, orders the method abandoned. Too unpredictable. Too dangerous. Even for war. If you want to know how the Romans weaponized toxic gas in 256 AD during the siege of Dura-Europos, and how archaeologists in 1933 found 20 Roman soldiers and 19 Persian soldiers dead in a tunnel, faces frozen in agony, clutching their throats, with sulfur crystals still in the air. 1,700 years later, hit follow, because that discovery stayed classified for 40 years. The French and British military studied it, tested it, and used it to design World War I gas attacks. Meet Fritz Haber, age 46, German chemist, Nobel Prize winner, 1918, for synthesizing ammonia. The Haber process. Feeds billions. Fertilizer. But in 1915, Haber's working for the German military, Chemical Weapons Division. His mission, break the stalemate. WWI trenches. Years of deadlock. Millions dead, no progress. Germany needs an advantage. Haber offers gas. Haber believes in it. Completely. Calls it a higher form of killing. More efficient, less suffering than bullets or shells. One cloud. Thousands dead. Instant. He pitches it to German High Command, January 1915. They're skeptical. Gas is unpredictable. Weather dependent. Wind could shift. Kill your own troops. Haber counters, that's why we tested. Perfect the delivery. Control the conditions. They approve. Experimental basis. Haber selects chlorine. Industrial chemical. Cheap. Available. Toxic. Heavier than air. Sinks into trenches. Can't escape. Symptoms: immediate respiratory failure. Lungs fill with fluid. Victims drown. Internally, death in minutes. No antidote. No protection. Perfect weapon. April 1915. Haber overseas deployment. Ypres, Belgium, 5,730 canisters. Positioned in German trenches. Waiting for wind. April 22nd. Conditions align. Wind blowing east, 5 meters per second. Steady. Haber gives the order. Open the valves. The gas releases. 168 tons. 10 minutes. The results exceed expectations. 5,000 dead, 10,000 injured. 6-kilometer gap. German troops advance. Capture territory. Hold it. But they don't push further. No reserves. Haber's furious. Argues with generals. We could have taken Ypres. Ended the Western Front. You wasted it. They ignore him. Haber returns to Berlin, defeated. But the Allies notice. May 1915. British scientists analyze captured gas canisters. Chlorine. Simple. Replicable. They start producing their own. September 25th, 1915. Battle of Loos. British use chlorine against Germans. 600 tons. Wind shifts mid-attack. Blows back into British lines. 2,000 British casualties. 7 dead. The irony isn't lost on anyone. Haber keeps innovating. Chlorine too simple. Too detectable. Green color. Visible. Soldiers can see it coming. Can run. Mostly, Haber designs something worse. Phosgene. Colorless. Odorless. Lethal. Symptoms delayed. Victims don't know they're dying. Keep fighting. Collapse hours later. By then, too late. December 1915. Germans deploy phosgene, mixed with chlorine. Masks the smell. Increases lethality. 1916. Phosgene kills 85% of WWI gas casualties. 100,000 deaths. Haber's creation. He's promoted, awarded, given resources, funding. Builds a research team. 50 chemists. Mission. Develop better gases. More lethal, more efficient. PhD. One of the first women in Germany. She knows what Fritz is doing. Begs him to stop. You're perverting science. Turning it into murder. Haber refuses. I'm ending the war. Saving German lives. Clara says, you're creating hell. They fight. Constantly. May 2nd, 1915. 10 days after Ypres. Haber hosts a party, celebrating the success. Clara attends. Reluctantly. After the guests leave, Clara takes Fritz's service pistol. Goes to the garden. Shoots herself in the chest. Dies. Their 13-year-old son Hermann finds her. Haber is informed. He shows no emotion. Returns to the front. Continues his work. 1917. Haber develops mustard gas. The worst. Blistering agent. Seeps through clothing. Burns skin. Lungs. Eyes. Victims suffer for weeks. Die slowly. Agonizingly. First used July 1917. Battle of Ypres. Again, 90,000 casualties. 2,000 dead. The rest? Blind. Scarred. Disabled. For life. By 1918, chemical weapons account for 30% of all WWI casualties. 1.3 million injured. 90,000 dead. Every major power uses them. Germany. Britain. France. Russia. America. Everyone. And Haber's recognized as the pioneer, the father of chemical warfare. Germany awards him the Iron Cross. But the Allies? They put him on the war crimes list. November 1918. Germany surrenders. Treaty of Versailles. Bans chemical weapons. Article 171. Germany prohibited from manufacturing or importing poison gas. Haber's work? Illegal. His labs? Shut down. He flees to Switzerland. 1919. Changes his name. Hides. Waits. 1919. Nobel Committee announces the 1918 Chemistry Prize. Delayed due to war. Winner. Fritz Haber. For the Haber process. Ammonia synthesis. Feeding the world. Scientists are outraged. Boycotts. Protests. He's a war criminal. Mass murderer. You're rewarding him? Nobel Committee responds, the prize is for his pre-war work, not his war contributions. The controversy doesn't die. It just fades. HAB returns to Germany. 1920. Resumes research. Not weapons, industry. But Germany's economy collapses. Hyperinflation. Poverty. 1933. Hitler rises. Nazi Party takes power. Passes laws. Jews removed from public positions. Haber's Jewish, despite conversion to Christianity. Despite his service. Despite everything, he's forced to resign. Haber's stunned. I gave Germany victory. I created weapons that changed warfare. How can they discard me? Nobody answers. He emigrates. England. 1933. Broken. Humiliated. Dying. Heart disease. Chronic lung damage. From his own gases. Laboratory exposure. Years of it. January 29th, 1934. Haber dies. Basel, Switzerland. Age 65. Alone. Obituaries are mixed. Some call him a genius, others a monster. His son, Hermann, inherits his estate, studies chemistry, follows his father's path. 1946. Hermann Haber commits suicide. Guilt. Legacy. The weight of what his father created. But here's the twisted part. Haber's ammonia process feeds 50% of the global population. Fertilizer production. Without it, billions starve. His chemical weapons? Banned. 1925 Geneva Protocol. Prohibited in warfare. But the research continues. Pesticides. Herbicides. Industrial chemicals. Zyklon B. Hydrogen cyanide pesticide. Developed by Haber's Institute. 1920s. Used by the Nazis. 1940s. Auschwitz. Gas chambers. Killing Jews, including Haber's extended family. The man who created chemical warfare. Jewish. Converted. Served Germany. Betrayed by Germany. His invention used to exterminate his own people. The irony is suffocating. Today, chemical weapons still exist. Syria. 2013. Sarin gas. 1,400 dead. Russia. 2018. Novichok. Assassination tool. North Korea. Stockpiles. Unknown quantity. The 1925 ban didn't stop production. Just use. And even that's violated. Regularly, every chemical weapon, every nerve agent, every poison gas. All of them trace back to Fritz Haber, April 22, 1915. Ypres. The day chemistry became a weapon, and science lost its innocence. But Ypres wasn't the deadliest gas attack. 1988. Iraq. Halabja. Saddam Hussein orders chemical strikes on Kurdish civilians. Mustard gas. Sarin. Taboon. VX. Everything. 5,000 dead. One day. 10,000 injured. Babies. Children. Elderly. Indiscriminate. And the international response? Silence. Because Iraq was fighting Iran, and the West supported Iraq, provided the chemicals, sold the technology. That story? It's in my Shadow Chronicles. And it makes Haber look like a scientist, not a merchant of death. Thanks for watching. And next time you use fertilizer, remember, the man who feeds the world also created the gas that chokes it.